Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and in today's reading, we're going to be answering the question, what is your next chapter as we head into 2024? So I'm really excited for today's reading because we're not only going to be working with tarot and oracle cards, we're actually going to also be working with charms, dice, and a few other divination tools. And we're really just going to be looking into what your next chapter in life in general may look like as we head into the new year. So let's get into our disclaimers. Please keep in mind, guys, that this is a general reading. So some messages may apply quite specifically and accurately to you. Others of the messages might not. So if it doesn't feel like it fits for you and your situation, simply just release it and let it go. Please never allow these readings to get you upset because, again, remember, they are general. They are for entertainment purposes only. If you guys did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. All right, so let's get into our reading selection. You guys will have a choice between 3 different piles to choose from today, or 3 different decks. For reading number 1, or pile 1, we're going to be working with the Magickal Dogs Tarot and some rose quartz. For reading number 2, or pile 2, we will be working with the Forest of Enchantment Tarot and this little Firefly Quartz crystal. And then for reading number 3, or pile 3, we will be working with the Wild Unknown Tarot and this beautiful Garden Quartz point. So I want you guys to take a deep breath. Think about your next chapter in life as we head into the new year. Go ahead and select the deck or the crystal that you guys feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected reading. See you there. Hey, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. So we're taking a look into your next chapter as we head into 2024. So let's go ahead and jump right in with your overall energy. Please make sure you guys are staying tuned through the whole reading because I am going to be using some charms and some dice today. I'm going to be using this really cute new charm mat that I got for that. So hopefully you guys like it. All right, so pile 1, let's take a look at the overall energy of your next chapter. So starting us off strong, we have the Grand Cross. We have the energy of Peaks of Joy, which is so beautiful. And then we also have the energy of movement. Okay, love this. All right, so overall energy for your next chapter, pile 1. I feel like you guys are coming out of a period of frustration or stagnation where things have maybe felt a little bit challenging for you because this energy of the Grand Cross is telling me that this next chapter is coming in for you either during or after a period that feels quite challenging or frustrating in your life. Okay, the Grand Cross energy, though, is energy that you can really work with in order to stimulate change. If you guys think about it, so the Grand Cross, it's kind of like in astrology. It's we've got oppositions here, and then we have 4 squares. And squares in particular, from what I understand in my intermediate to beginner understanding of astrology, squares are tough energies, but they help to push us to make some sort of a change. You know, a lot of times if we have those more easy placements, like a trine, for instance, things will come really naturally to us, but it kind of can come with the downside of feeling a little lazy at times because things just come naturally. There's no challenge. So I say all this to say, you guys are coming into a period here of change that's you're being kind of pushed into, and this may be coming from you internally. Like there's some sort of frustration or challenge that's pushing you guys to want to make some really positive changes in your life. So I see this here with movement and joy, peaks of joy, rather. Something about this tension that's here is pushing you guys forward. Again, I feel after a period of stagnation or a period of difficulty here. We have this little ostrich It's carrying like a whole island on its back. And I was really drawn, I don't know if you guys can see, but it has like a little snail on its head. I feel like you guys are starting to kind of put very slowly one foot in front of the other and move forward. And with the whole island on the back, it's almost giving me this idea that you guys could be moving, or it's something bigger than just like general movement, right? I feel like you guys could be like physically moving, like picking up all of your stuff and walking metaphorically somewhere else. I think that you guys are really looking at life from a higher perspective too, with this hot air balloon that's here. It's really making me think of you guys kind of zooming the lens out, looking at the big picture, and asking yourself, what is going to bring me happiness in life? What's going to bring me joy in life? And we have this little butterfly here, which is beautiful because this symbolizes transformation and change for the better. And again, you think of a butterfly, in order to transform into a butterfly, the caterpillar has to cocoon itself and go through this process of being under pressure, right? So this is really beautiful, pile one, because I feel you're moving into a time, your next chapter, it's all about moving on from something, embracing some sort of really beautiful change or transformation within self, and moving into an energy of joy and happiness in your life. Maybe even physical movement being involved too. So let's see. Pile one. Tell us a little bit more, please, about their next chapter and what this is going to entail. And you guys did select the Magical Dogs Tarot, which is such a cute deck. I love it so much. Next chapter for pile one. What do they need to know? Three of Pentacles. The Trickster, which is the Devil. And the Shaman, which is the Hierophant card. Beautiful. I also have the Lovers card here at the bottom of the deck. So there could be partnerships that are important coming up here into this next chapter of your life. The Lovers could be talking about like a specific soulmate connection. Could just be referring to partnerships in general for some of you. The Lovers card, though, is also talking about decisions and choices, right? Usually it's like making some sort of a head over heart choice in order to like align with what feels the most happy for you and the most loving to you, peaks of joy, right? Some of you guys could be making comparisons to something here, weighing different options. There is the Sea Guardian underneath the Knight of Cups. So there is kind of like an undertone here, I feel, of like love and romance potentially for some of you guys in this next chapter. But that's not like, I'm not seeing it as like the primary focus for most of you guys. Let me take a look here at these tarot cards. I'm really being drawn to this Trickster here, the Devil. And what I'm kind of noticing is the rope around the dog's neck and how the rope is actually cut, right? I feel like this is symbolic of you guys kind of cutting the cord with things that no longer serve you. And I feel like for this group, there could still be some sort of tie to something spiritually or mentally. This could be like a person, a situation, a bad habit, with the Devil being here. It could be a lot of different things, but there's definitely something here around attachments that I think you guys are going to be examining coming into this next new chapter. I do feel you guys are coming into this realization, though, that you're not really as stuck in this energy as you realize. There's movement here. And remember, with the snail, it's like slow and steady progress. So I feel you guys kind of slowly detaching yourself from whatever this thing was that's been causing you frustration or challenges in your life, this thing that's no longer compatible. Because remember, the Devil is like, it's kind of this energy of instant gratification or, you know, obsession or kind of indulgence in things that we know are not really healthy for us. Whereas when we have the Lovers card here, this is about being in alignment with love, the energy of love or joy in your case, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So there's definitely this recognition that it's time to kind of cut the tie with something here that's kind of holding you back and maybe causing you to move slower than you could potentially be moving without it. So yeah, it's kind of slow and steady detachment from whatever this thing is. With the Three of Pentacles, I see a lot of collaboration. I heard networking. So there's a lot of networking, collaboration coming up for you guys in this next chapter. This could have to do with work or just teamwork in general with regard to your situation here. I'm also being drawn to the artwork here. You can see like this dog. So they're kind of all three working on this art project together. So I feel you guys kind of moving into this chapter where you could be collaborating more with other people. Some of you guys could be expressing your creativity a little bit differently during this chapter. Maybe art is something specific that you guys will be focusing in on. This could be one of the things that really brings you joy. I also see here with the Hierophant that there's this energy of really tapping into your spiritual practices, right? Like we have this cute little dog. You can see like the sage that's here. There's a drum that's here. Like they're sitting here really in tune with their higher self. And you guys could be infusing more spiritual practices or rituals into your day-to-day is kind of what I'm getting from that. And I feel like all of this is about you detaching from whatever this thing is that's no longer serving you. It's like tapping into these practices to help kind of move you forward, if that makes sense. So let's continue. Pile 1, their next chapter. Next chapter. What do they need to know? Healer of the Ages. Beautiful. Ooh, cornucopia. Also beautiful. See, and then we have the Angel of Strength here. So this is about like really channeling the courage, the stamina to move forward. You guys could be taking a leap. Like it might feel like a slower change or a slower leap, but it's still something that's requiring some courage from you because, again, there's this detachment from something that's been comfortable for a while. So you guys are healing during this time. You guys are moving through a period of healing in your life, healing from whatever this bad habit, this situation, whatever it was that does not serve you in your highest good. Whatever this is, it's really pushing you to make big changes in your life. And with cornucopia coming up here, you guys are really moving into a beautiful period of abundance and prosperity during this time. So I want to look really quickly here. The Healer of the Ages specifically is talking about health and vitality, okay? The light of the divine consciousness pours from its hands and heart, flowing to you with love and powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping you to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. You see, so there is something here about like slow healing, slow progression, slow movement forward that you guys are experiencing in this next chapter. So things are getting better for you. You guys could have been dealing with something like physical or mental in terms of illnesses. Things are going to be getting better for you. Cornucopia is really, it's like wishes fulfilled. So you guys are moving into a period where not only are you healing from and releasing the things that no longer serve you or the things that were causing problems and conflict for you in your life, but you're moving into this period of prosperity and joy and having your wishes fulfilled, which is so beautiful. All right, so this is going to be our last deck, and then we're going to move into your charms. So pile 1, their next chapter. What do they need to know? the Mystic. I weave my magic and surrender to the universe. The Cosmos. I connect to oneness and expand my awareness. That kind of, it makes sense with that shaman energy here. I feel like you guys are really moving into a period where you're much more spiritually connected. I'm even seeing that here with all the clouds. I don't know why. That's making me feel like certain things that have been confusing for you or that have been cloudy for you, it's like that cloudiness is being cleared during this time through you guys tapping into your higher self and like digging more into your spiritual practice. Yeah, you're coming into this period and like I feel as you guys come into it, you're going into it with a much higher level of awareness and like understanding with that air balloon at the beginning, right? It's like you see the big picture of something here that maybe you wouldn't have seen in the past. You guys are manifesting during this time. I weave my magic and surrender to the universe. It's like communicating with the universe, showing the universe what you want through your actions, maybe through working creatively with other people. But then it's also about learning to let go so that the universe can co-create with you and meet you halfway. So I feel you guys are getting something you want during this next chapter. It's definitely a beautiful period of abundance and prosperity that I see coming through for you guys, and kind of this release of things that have been ailing you or keeping you stuck for a long time. So let me clear these off camera and then we're going to move into your charms. All right, pile one, let's go ahead and dig into your charms and dice. So I'm just going to kind of mix these up. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these out and roll them onto the board separately. So let's go ahead and see for pile one. Tell us, please, Spirit, what else do they need to know about their next chapter? I'm going to grab these. Okay, so we've got a little, just make sure everything is where it landed. Yeah, you see with this key, like there's something you guys are unlocking spiritually during this time, which makes a lot of sense with that Hierophant card and that expanded awareness card that we got. Okay, so anything that came off the board, we're not going to take. All right, so let's see. We've got the number 2 here. We have Aquarius here. We have fire energy here. You know, it's really interesting. So the health and well-being section, remember how we were getting that card about healing, right? The healer of the ages. It's like, it's interesting that the fire element is coming up where it says family medicines here. I don't know. I just find that interesting. But what I kind of feel is that this is a period that during this chapter, you guys are kind of like being restored in terms of your vitality, because fire is all about like energy, vitality, life force energy. And with Aquarius being here, I feel like you guys could be working or collaborating again with other people, like we had with the Lovers card and the 3 of Pentacles, that are kind of helping you and supporting you through this. To me, when I think of Aquarius, I think of friends, I think of collective, I think of groups, things like that. I also feel you guys could be taking like a more unique or like innovative or just like a different sort of approach to your healing and your well-being during this next chapter, because Aquarian energy is kind of rebellious in a sense. So there's something you guys are experimenting with or doing with regard to your well-being and your wellness that is different, and it's also supporting you in restoring your vitality, your life force energy. So let's see what else you guys got with your charms. Under the finances and wealth, you have the elephant, and the elephant is talking about community. So it's kind of interesting because we have that community aspect also tying in with your physical well-being or your health. We have that community aspect tying in here with the 3 of Pentacles, which could have to do with work. I do feel like there could be something around your money that's connected to maybe an audience. Maybe some of you guys have like a following, or some sort of community that you specifically serve in the work that you do that maybe actually could have to do with wellness for some of you guys. Maybe some of you are healers in a sense. But there's certainly something here about your finances and your wealth that's tied to a community. And this is also tied in, this community is tied into your health and well-being too. Again, I could also see this being like you guys having a community that you support within this sort of category of health and well-being. There's something that you guys do that helps to bring vitality and life force energy back to others. It's something I feel like you guys are really passionate about. What else do we have here for you guys? The clothespin is about securing something, right? Holding something down. This is coming up with your career. And then we have the playing cards, which talk about faded energies here. So the career aspect of things that's kind of tied in here with this Three of Pentacles, this is faded. This is like divinely guided for you. And I do feel it's something that's bringing you a lot of security and prosperity. Remember we had the cornucopia card that came up here. So this is going to be like a really prosperous chapter in your life when it comes to, you know, your career, your finances, your wellness, things like that. With this key here, you guys are unlocking spiritual insights and spiritual knowledge during this time. And then we have this little diamond right here, which talks about making promises. And this is coming up under your home and family life. So there could be something kind of more official during this chapter that's happening in your home, like your family or home situation. Again, we did have this undertone of love life that was coming up for some of you guys in the beginning, right? So there could be an energy here of you guys maybe getting engaged, getting married, signing like a lease with someone, moving into a house with somebody during this next chapter. Let's see. And then lastly, we have the number 2, which is showing up as your advice and guidance. So the number 2 is talking about balance and harmony. So this is your advice, pile 1. I feel like during this time in your partnerships, in your life, you're really being guided to seek balance and harmony. And I feel like this Devil card came up with this kind of release of attachment energy because there is slow progress and slow movement away from like excesses or away from something that has felt out of balance in your life, away from something that has been kind of keeping you guys tied down, either like physically, mentally, metaphorically, however. So your goal is just like your advice is to kind of keep slowly moving away from that with the ostrich and the snail here. And be checking in with yourself around like, do things in my life feel balanced? Are things in my life flowing harmoniously at this time? And I feel like it's going to be really easy for you guys to discern this now because the overall energy of your reading was this Grand Cross, which is all about things feeling really tense. But this period of tension is pushing you guys to move forward with something here. It's changing something about your life in a really positive way, right? So you're going to have this difficult energy that you're kind of coming out of to compare to as you're moving into this new space in your life. You're going to be really better able to tell, like, if it feels like this, it's really tense, it's not harmonious, right? But if it feels like this, then it is, right? Or that Three of Pentacles even. So really interesting reading, pile 1. I hope that this helped you guys out. Please comment below. Let me know what you think of like the charms and the dice. Do you guys like this? If so, I'm going to keep doing it. If you guys are not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so that you'll be updated when I post the next reading. And I do look forward to seeing you there. Bye. Hey, pile 2. Welcome to your reading all about the next chapter in your life as we head into 2023. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Make sure you guys are staying through to the whole reading because I'm going to be working with some dice and some charms. And I got this really cute little new board for charms that we're going to be working into your message. So let's jump in and see what this next chapter looks like for you guys. So overall energy, we have the message of Gemini. We have the Field of Dreams coming through. Love that for you. And then we have coming to life. Ooh, you guys, I'm so excited. Let me see something really quick. Lots of butterflies that I'm seeing here in the Field of Dreams as well as in coming to life. So I definitely feel like this chapter that you guys are moving into, coming into 2024, there's definitely big change. Now, it almost feels like you guys coming into the new year, coming into this chapter, are sort of currently manifesting and creating this change that you want to create, because a lot of these cards, specifically the Field of Dreams, is talking about manifestation, right? It's talking about like knowing and feeling and understanding that there are infinite possibilities that are available to you in this lifetime. You know, I'm thinking of you guys really visualizing coming into this reading, dreaming about what it is that you want, visualizing how to fulfill your dreams, and then with Gemini coming up here, figuring out how you can communicate in a way that creates the change you wish to see, but also how you can research and think and explore as well. Definitely communication, though, I feel coming through really strong here, because Gemini is about communication. It's ruled by Mercury, right? So Mercury is all about communication. It's all about kind of our intellect as well. But I feel that this change is coming through for you guys maybe after a period of feeling stuck or stagnant in a way. Because if we take a look at this card of coming to life, you guys can see that she is sort of transforming out of being a statue, right? Out of being really still or stuck or trapped, and she's starting to change and come literally to life. So you guys could be coming into this reading after feeling like really stuck or stagnant. And now this next chapter is about starting to think about what it is that you want to create for yourself. You guys could be moving into a period where you're talking to more people, maybe going out more, socializing a little bit more, with Gemini being here as well. Coming to life through communication. And that doesn't have to only mean talking, though. It could be writing, journaling. It could be podcasting. It could be, I don't know, anything where you're gathering your thoughts and expressing them. So let's continue. Pile 2. Tell us, please, Spirit, about their next chapter. What does this entail? What do they need to know? Okay, we have the 10 of Swords coming up. The Magician. Yes, you guys are manifesting something here. And then we have the 2 of Swords. So you guys have a lot of Gemini coming up. Lots of air energy, rather, coming up with the Swords. But yeah, it's like coming into this next chapter, there's sort of this energy of feeling like we've hit rock bottom, right? Maybe you guys haven't just been feeling like yourself. You've been feeling tired, exhausted, burnt out. You've kind of hit this place where we can only go up from here, right? The 10 of Swords also can be like when we have just worked ourselves up in the mind too, right? I've experienced that before, where we just worked ourselves up in the mind, and it's caused you to just be exhausted and burnt out and kind of stuck, like our statue here. But there's this realization that like we can only go up from here, and that change starts with us, right? And so with this Gemini energy, the Field of Dreams coming to life, coming out of this rock bottom period for you guys, you're entering into this space of like creation or co-creation with spirit, with the universe. I'm really being drawn to this owl here. So some of you guys could have like an owl animal spirit that's significant to you right now. Owls have to do with wisdom, right? Intellect with Gemini. You're manifesting and creating something based on the lessons that you've learned, based off the wisdom that you hold. I always think about, too, how owls are nocturnal and they can see through the dark. So it's like coming out of this darker period in your life, you sort of have gained this spiritual wisdom and insight that you can then apply to creating what you wish to create here. Like you're literally bringing yourself back to metaphorical life again. 2 of Swords coming up is really interesting, too, because there's this energy of you guys really looking in the mirror and looking at yourselves and understanding, I think, that like only you can rescue you. Only you can change for you. Nobody else is necessarily going to come in and make the change for you. So sitting and waiting and hoping for someone else to quote unquote rescue us or help us in some way, I feel like that energy could be what's been paralyzing you and keeping you stuck for some of you guys. So this Two of Swords is like kind of you looking in the mirror and reflecting on yourself and realizing that like you have the power within you to make these changes. And you've had it this whole time, really. So let's continue. Pile 2. What's their next chapter potentially looking like? What do they need to know? Pile 2. We have anxiety. Yeah, like you guys have been dealing with something that's been really stressing you out. It could just be like, you know, anxiety is diagnosed by a doctor, something like that, or maybe a situation in your life that's stressing you out. Let's see, pile 2. What's their next chapter looking like here? Ooh, and then we have door to personal healing and happiness, which is so beautiful. But look, we have all tied up at the bottom of the deck. There's some sort of energy that has been keeping you guys stuck. Something to do with like self-reflection, and maybe it doesn't necessarily have to do with somebody else coming in to rescue you, but maybe it's something to do with a reflection that you've had about yourself. Something has been keeping you guys kind of in this neutral space of like not being ready to make a decision or a change that you need to make here. But I do see that kind of changing. Like it really feels like I'm just seeing how he's like looking into this magical glittering mirror, and kind of like there's this look of surprise on his face, like, oh, I'm magical, like I can do this, you know? But yeah, I see you guys making really positive changes with these butterflies and really coming out of this period of feeling stuck or feeling unwell in some way, rising from the ashes metaphorically. And this door to personal healing and happiness is so beautiful because during this next chapter, it's like you're moving into a period of creating your dreams, right? Whatever those are for you, whatever your goals, your manifestations are, you are creating them through communication, writing, research, thinking, right? Intellect. And this door is now opening up for you to heal from whatever this is that's been causing you challenges, and for you to be happy and create a life for yourself that you feel happy in. So your personal life, you guys, this next chapter is kind of all about your personal life getting better. Okay, so let's see. Pile 2. What does pile 2 need to know about their next chapter, please? And then after this, we're going to transition into your charms and dice. Pile 2. Goddess of balance, equality. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. I feel like for a lot of you guys, this could be talking about your relationship with spirit, the universe, source. Ooh, we have the Star Daughters. I dance, sing, and play with my sisters at sunset. Oh, I love this for you guys. Look at this. The mirror. Reflect. I hold the mirror up to see, accept, and love all of me. This is so beautiful. And it's like kind of it's like this sort of dual message here. It's like a repeating message here about you all kind of during this period looking in the mirror and doing some sort of self-reflection. And maybe like this card is talking about, it could be something about self-acceptance and self-love for some of you. I noticed that this card is also tied to the crown chakra too, though, which is, again, making me think of wisdom, spiritual insights, understanding that you guys have the spiritual insights that you need to make these positive changes, and you've had it all along within you. I think it's just about understanding like that you can do it, right? Like you can unstuck yourself. You can make the progress you need to make. You can create it. I definitely see you guys with your personal life improving and things coming to life for you. And look at these butterflies again. There's definitely an energy of community that's coming up here too, right? So you guys I feel are going to be spending a lot of time with like friends, family, some sort of community of people. is a part of this transformation that you guys are going through. I kind of see it here too in the Field of Dreams, because there's like a few different little fairies here in the Field of Dreams. So there's some sort of group of people, some sort of community that's also a part of this personal life upgrade that you guys are getting. And with the Goddess of Balance here, this is about, you know, reciprocal relationships. I create and foster reciprocal relationships. Maybe some of what has been challenging you guys coming into this reading is maybe connections with people that feel really one-sided or that kind of drain you of your life force energy. And so I feel you guys coming into this new chapter with the wisdom that you need to know and understand how to create reciprocal connections with other people so that you're not being drained of your life force energy. Okay. So pile 2, let me clear these cards away, and then we're going to transition into your charms. All right, pile 3, we are all set up for your charms. So let me just pull the dice out really quick. I'm going to cast the charms onto this board first, and then we'll roll these dice. So pile 3, please let us know this next chapter. What does it hold for them? Okay, so we have the star here. We have the playing cards that want to go here. We have this little moon and star. We have the key. I'm not really sure where that wants to go, so I'm just going to leave it there. It's kind of in the middle of everything, to be honest, which is interesting. This button kind of flew off, so anything that falls off, I'm not going to take it. Let's go ahead and cast these dice and see if anything moves around. Okay. We're going to move these off. We're going to move these off as well. Okay. So we have the little pentacle here. Looks like these stayed where they were. The number 8 being right here. Okay. So, pile 2. What do you guys need to know about this next chapter? So it's really interesting because you guys have a pentacle and then you have the little star charm in the health and well-being section of the reading. And remember how we were getting so many messages here about you guys like letting go of anxiety and like healing from something during this next chapter, being brought back to life in some capacity. Well, the pentacle is talking about, like, to me, it's talking about putting in effort, right? It's about putting effort into something. It's about feeling more secure in this area of life. And the star literally talks about dream fulfillment, having wishes fulfilled, which kind of comes up here if you think about like the door to personal healing and happiness, but also the Field of Dreams really talked about that. Right? So there's some sort of effort that you guys have been putting into like health and well-being during this next chapter where your wishes will be fulfilled. Okay? Like something that you're wanting, some sort of outcome you're striving for is coming to fruition for you. Now, you guys also have the little star moon and the playing cards, and this is coming up under home and family. So this is really interesting because this little charm talks about being adored, and the playing cards talk about fate. Okay, so there's some sort of fated kind of energy here around home, family, and community for you guys. I really feel with like the star daughters that came up, there's something about community, like finding a community of people or some sort of harmony in your home life where you're adored or that you adore it, you really love it. And it's something that's very much spiritually guided for you at this time. I feel like this key, because it kind of flew out in the middle of everything. Again, the key is talking about kind of unlocking something, unlocking some sort of spiritual insights or spiritual knowledge specifically, which we saw that coming through multiple times throughout your reading. Right now, it's kind of pointed at the spirit side of things, which is interesting, self. So I do think there's definitely something about this next chapter that has to do with you guys understanding yourself, unlocking your own power of manifestation with the Magician card that we saw earlier. But I feel like it's also, because it's like in the middle of the board, I feel like this is talking about you guys really understanding, unlocking spiritual insights in all areas of life at this time, like applying your wisdom to different areas of life, based off of this kind of dark night of the soul that it seems like you guys are coming out of here, which is really beautiful. You guys also have the number 8 here under the spirit self section. So this talks about success. It talks about achieving goals. I want to see something really quick. Please hold, you guys. It also can talk about balance in the materialistic world and the spiritual world. So that's really interesting because we got this message here about the goddess of balance. And I feel like this maybe not only applies to relationships, but like I was saying, it can talk about like the balance of material versus spiritual as well. Maybe some of you guys have been using spiritual practices for the energy of health and well-being, and now you're kind of tying in some more practical solutions in order to achieve your goal during this time. Under advice and guidance, you had a couple letters come up. So you had the letter Q and the letter C coming up, which is kind of interesting. These could be like initials for some of you guys, significant people that you might be guided to connect with here. So if that feels like it resonates with you, take that. But yeah, this is kind of what I see for you guys for your next new chapter. So please let me know, pile 2, how you feel like this aligns with what you've been going through and what your plans are going into the new year. Comment below and let me know. If you guys are not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated whenever I post the next reading. And I do look forward to seeing you there. Bye. Hey there, pile 3. If you guys picked out the Wild Unknown Tarot and this beautiful garden quartz point, this will be your message. So today we're looking into your next chapter in life as we move ahead into 2024. Please make sure you guys are staying till the end of the reading because today we're also going to be working with charms and dice. And I have this really cute little charm board that we're going to use to do your charm reading today. So super excited for that. So let's jump in and just take a look first at the overall energy of this next chapter for you. Ooh, okay, so starting us off, we have this energy of Aries, super fiery, like feisty, passionate energy. We have Stuck in the Mud in reverse. And then we have Unexpected Visitors. Okay, pile 3. This is really intriguing. So the first thing that I want to say with Aries energy coming up here is that Aries is telling me that this next chapter of your life has to do with you guys really stepping into a period of focusing on self, right? I feel you guys really focusing in on confidence, self-confidence. I feel a lot of really ambitious and passionate energy emanating from this card for you guys. And, you know, Aries ruled by Mars. So this is kind of like the way that this is like you putting energy and effort into something, passionate energy and effort into something. Now, with Stuck in the Mud in reverse coming up, I'm getting a couple of different messages here. For some of you guys, I feel like this period of energy and like action and movement it's sort of like a response to feeling like you've been stuck, right? Feeling like you've been stuck for a long time, and you're just wanting to like get unstuck and move away from something. But the other message that I'm getting with this Stuck in the Mud in reverse, which is kind of interesting with it being right next to Aries, is that sometimes with Stuck in the Mud, this card really talks about like taking a pause and just kind of being in the moment, right? Understanding your surroundings, being okay with being in the present moment in a sense. And so for some of you guys, I kind of feel like there is this sort of this energy of Aries of wanting things the way you want them, wanting things to look or be in a certain way is actually what could be keeping you stuck. Because what I feel coming up for you guys is this next chapter is going to have some sort of unexpected surprise or detour that you're not anticipating, right? It's unexpected. Now, it could literally be an unexpected person, an unexpected quote-unquote visitor, or just really sort of any unexpected detour that you were not planning, right? Because it seems like you guys with Aries sort of have a clear idea and a drive toward something that you want, something that you feel is a goal for you. And there is going to be some sort of detour here that I see for you coming up. And I think your ability to kind of embrace the detour is going to like make or break how stuck or unstuck you feel. Okay, so you guys also picked garden quartz, which is really interesting because this card, I mean this this crystal can have to do with healing past life karma. So this could be like a karmic lesson that's coming through for you in this next chapter as well, or some sort of fated energy that you're supposed to move through. And that's kind of how I tend to feel about like these quote unquote divine detours, right? A lot of times we may feel like the detour is frustrating because it's taking us off of our chosen path. It looks different maybe than what we want it to look like. But ultimately, whenever we look back at the end, it's like, oh, I see why it worked out that way. It was supposed to work out that way. So that's kind of what I feel for this group coming up here in terms of your next chapter. So let's see, pile 3. Tell us more, please, about their next chapter and what they need to know, what's coming through for pile 3. We have the Hanged Man. Interesting. The 4 of Pentacles. Ooh, and then we have the Empress card being here as well. And look, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. There's definitely some sort of curveball that I feel the universe is throwing at you that you are not expecting. And I do see here with this 4 of Pentacles that this feels like it could be something that is uncomfortable, because the 4 of Pentacles is this energy of us holding on to something, right? It's holding on to something that we're familiar with, holding on to something that is bringing us a sense of security, right? But the problem is that when we hold on to something so tightly, it can really block our blessings, right? Sometimes you have to release something and let it go in order for you to bring in something new and something even better for you. So I definitely can see that this next new chapter is going to be bringing in positive things for you, pile 3, with the Empress. It is going to be bringing in blessings, but I feel like there will be some lessons that you're learning along the way here. With the Hanged Man coming up, I definitely feel like this energy here with Aries of you guys wanting to move, like wanting to drive forward, having a goal, right? Or having this, again, this clear picture of like where you want to go and how you want it to be. But whenever this kind of detour comes up for you, it is going to cause you to take pause, and it might make you feel like you're stuck because, again, the Hanged Man is about taking a pause. It's about putting something on ice and taking a moment to reflect. And there will be a need to shift perspective when this happens, okay? There could be something here around like work or career or finances with the 4 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles coming up here too. Studies could be significant as well. School, something like that. But there's definitely a shift in perspective that's needed here. But when I'm looking again at this 4 of Pentacles, it's like whatever this is that's happening during this next chapter, it's all interconnected into like the bigger picture of like the lesson you're supposed to learn, the ultimate kind of path that you're being guided forward onto. And something about this pause, something about this change is actually allowing you guys to prosper in a really beautiful way. It's allowing you to work on your own abundance. And I feel like it's also kind of pushing you guys into a more feminine energy, right? The Empress is the divine feminine. So this is all about kind of leaning back and nurturing, and it's about receiving as well, you know? That could be like a blockage here too. Like maybe this group, Aries is super masculine energy. It wants to take action. It wants to do. It wants to check things off its list, you know? It wants to be out there making moves. Whereas like you guys, you know, it's like it's a giver energy, right? Like it's masculine. It's doing, right? But the Empress is receiving energy. And with the 4 of Pentacles being next to the Empress, you guys could be struggling with that receiving energy because maybe you're in this masculine of like wanting to make things happen, wanting to make big moves. I feel you guys are supposed to be working on receiving abundance during this time and opening up your heart, opening up yourself, you know, spiritually, physically, materially, to receive during this time. Because being able to receive, I feel, is allowing you guys to really prosper. This is a very abundant card here. So let's continue, pile 3. This message is super interesting. So for pile 3, tell us please a little bit about their next chapter as they head into 2024. What do they need to know? Almost knocked my camera over. Okay, pile 3. Their next chapter. What do they need to know? We have the heart chakra. Yes, like opening up your heart, you guys, is super important during this time. I feel like it's blocked a little bit. I feel like it's closed off a little bit. Let's see. We have envy. Ooh, that's interesting coming up too. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because, you know, envy and jealousy can be associated with this 4 of Pentacles, you guys. It's like there's something I feel that you guys wish that you had, or that you kind of admire that other people have, or someone else in your life has. And I feel like you guys are wishing that you had it, or you're comparing yourself in some way for some reason. So this could be a time where you guys are really working through these feelings of like maybe feeling jealous, or which is like a normal thing. It's so interesting. I was just listening to a YouTube video by my friend Erica. She did a reading, or not a reading, but a video on this topic of jealousy. And it was kind of in the context of relationships more so, but there's definitely something here that I feel you guys sort of are looking out and wishing that you had this beautiful golden energy. But there's also this energy of you guys kind of keeping yourselves closed off to being able to receive that. And so I think a part of this next chapter is you guys learning how to open up your heart. This could have to do with love and relationships for a lot of you guys too, right? There's definitely something here about you guys in this next chapter opening up your heart more to receive whatever this thing is that you want, that you're feeling like you can't have, or that you're comparing for some reason. Oh my gosh. Let's see. So there's a perspective shift coming in on this in your next chapter. What else does pile 3 need to know? This is our last deck before we go into our charms. So pile 3, tell us about their next chapter. I just saw 1111 on my clock, so if you guys have been seeing that number, this could be confirmation that this is really your message. We have Electra, the morning star. I shoot for the stars. Radiance is my birthright. Interesting. Okay. We also have the Amazon Queen. I am a devoted warrior of the universe. This is so interesting. So with that morning star, I shoot for the stars. Radiance is my birthright. I kind of feel like there's this energy within your next chapter of you guys kind of like almost not wanting to be seen, right? And like both of these cards are really talking about you being seen, really showing who you are. The 4 of Pentacles is about being closed off. The Hanged Man is about pulling back our energy, okay? This Envy card, we see her kind of in the shadows, wishing she was out here in this open, prosperous, abundant place that she's looking at, right? So there's something here, I feel, around your heart space, who you are emotionally and how you show love or how you emotionally connect with others, that during this time you're working through getting more comfortable with being seen and kind of being vulnerable and showing yourself in that way to other people. It kind of makes sense with Aries too, right? Because with Aries, it's like, this is a card of like being seen. It's a card of like being confident in who you are. And you have both of these more warrior energy cards here, which makes sense because, you know, Aries connected to Mars, which I think is the god of war, right? It's this taking action. It's confronting something. So there's definitely like during this next chapter, this energy of you guys really confronting this side of yourself that you've been hiding in the shadows and working on getting more confident in who you are and like putting yourself back out there to be seen in this way as this beautiful empress that I feel you are. Okay. So yeah, it's interesting. Like there's kind of a dual message here of you guys needing to shift perspective on something. So in that sense, that is kind of a metaphor for holding back or leaning back until you see the new perspective. But then there's also this message of you guys needing to take some sort of action during this time to really confront these changes within self that you need to make in order to draw in whatever it is that you wish that you had, whether it's in love, life, finances, whatever. So really interesting, pile 3. Let's go ahead and clear these cards off and move into your charms. Okay, pile 3. So let's go ahead. I'm going to remove these dice. We'll roll the dice first, and then we'll get into the charms. So what does pile 3 need to know about their next chapter, please? All right, anything that comes off of the table, I'm not going to take. So we're just going to, or anything that comes off the board, rather. I'm not going to take. So we have Cancer here. We have the waxing gibbous moon. I feel like this wind or air energy is here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get some charms. So for pile 3, Spirit, please let us know. What do they need to know about this next chapter? All right, so we've got these energies here. Looks like we have a little strawberry. I feel like the key is kind of here. It's like between social life and home. And then we have a little letter D here. It's coming up. Okay, so let's see. I definitely can kind of see like how during this time, it is kind of echoing this message of Aries with these two energies coming up with self and spirit. Like there's some sort of spiritual growth that you guys are really honing in on during this time. And it's specifically to me around like opening up your heart and not comparing yourself to others. And it's interesting because there is like a lot of energy we're going to get to here with the financial and wealth section of things. And when I was looking at this envy card, it's kind of the vibe I was getting of like you were really wishing that you had this like abundant, prosperous sort of vibe here. Or comparing yourself to other people. So we're going to get to that in a second. But, you know, this is faded energy with the playing cards coming up here, which is what I was getting with we have with like the Wheel of Fortune, but then also with this, you know, past life energy that the Garden Quartz is bringing in. This is faded energy. This is a lesson you guys are supposed to be moving through during this time. And you know, the diamond charm, it's all about promises, making a promise to self, making a commitment to self. So this is some sort of faded spiritual commitment that you have made to yourself in this lifetime. It's some sort of lesson, like a karmic lesson that you're supposed to be learning in order to grow in your spiritual growth and to better understand you and develop yourself. Now, you guys have Cancer energy coming up here in the home and family section, which is interesting. So maybe some of these energies that you're working through during this time are directly connected to your home life, right? Something to do with maybe digging deeper into your roots, digging deeper into your family stuff. Could be like generational karma, generational sort of karmic energies that you're working through, generational patterns here. Cancer does have to do with like home and family. So it's kind of like doubling up the message here that it's like literally here in home and family, right? Cancer, though, it's also a water energy. And it's interesting because it's like we had so many messages about opening up your heart. And Cancer is, you know, the water sign of the crab. Very soft and squishy on the inside, but with this hard exterior. And I feel like that's kind of the vibe that you guys put out right now. Like you have this Aries energy, this warrior energy, but it's all kind of to protect you. You know, like if we looked at that Four of Pentacles, like the Four of Pentacles is about protection. It's kind of guarded. It's putting up a wall. So there's definitely something you guys are digging into with regard to that. And with the key coming up here, to me, like, this is impacting your social life, that your ability to connect with others, but also your ability to connect with your own family or people in your community here. The key talks about unlocking some sort of spiritual knowledge or insights. And that's exactly what I see you guys doing. It's like this energy of your heart being closed. It does impact your family and your social life. And I feel you guys are coming into that awareness, that perspective shift during this time. So it's like maybe if some of your relationships that you guys have had haven't felt as fruitful or as, you know, healthy as you would like, it's like you're starting to understand why that is during this next chapter. I do see with the strawberry coming up, there's kind of like a new beginning here when it comes to health and well-being as well. So this has to do with like spring. So new beginnings with spring coming up here. The spring season could be significant for your health and well-being this year as well. And then you guys have this air element. And then you also have the waxing gibbous moon, which has to do with, so this is really interesting. So there's some sort of change that's being ignited here with air energy, with finances and wealth. And the waxing gibbous moon is talking about learning new things, right? So there's something new that you guys are learning about finances and wealth during this next chapter as well. And the wind is pushing you to ignite change, to start a new practice or learn something new and different. And the letter D is coming up here as well. This could be somebody's initials. It could mean dad for some of you. So there's some sort of something you're unlocking here as well, which it's interesting because that also ties into the Envy card and the Four of Pentacles. So there is like a perspective shift. And I feel like you guys might be realizing during this time that you have so much abundance within you. You are so abundant and prosperous, and you, I feel, are doing a lot better than you think you are. So I think it's about shifting perspective to understand that and to not compare yourself to other people, if that is in fact what you might be doing. So pile 3, this was a really intriguing message. Please comment below. Let me know how you feel this aligns with what you've been going through up until this point. If you guys are not already, please do subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be updated once I post the next video. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.